Who have just tuned in to NHK World. A major earthquake hit Japan Friday afternoon about an hour and 10 minutes ago. Japan's meteorological agency says the quake measured magnitude 8.4. It has revised it upwards to 8.4. The agency has issued a tsunami warning for Japan's Pacific coast. In northeastern Japan's Iwate Prefecture, tsunami waves of over 4 meters were observed soon after the quake. The agency is warning that the tsunami could reach between 6 and 10 meters. We're getting reports of several buildings on fire. We do not know in regards to the exact amount of damage at this time, but we are soon to get a report from Japan's meteorological agency. They're setting up to find out the extent of the damage. All transportation systems in Tokyo as well as northern Japan has been stopped. Airports closed in Tokyo, Haneda, as well as Narita Airport. A great earthquake has hit Japan, magnitude 8.4 in northern Japan. Agency has been warning a tsunami ever since the quake, and tsunami has hit the Miyagi Sendai area as our live helicopter camera crew are up covering and showing you exactly what is going on at this time. Deputy Chief Cabinet Secretary Tetsuro Fukuyama told reporters on Friday that the governor of Miyagi Prefecture, where the earthquake has hit hardest, has asked the government to send self-defense force units to deal with the situation and aid the situation. Defense Ministry officials say self-defense force personnel are currently contacting local governments and related agency to assess the extent of the damage. Earlier, Prime Minister Naoto Kan and his cabinet ministers have gathered at the Prime Minister's office, where an emergency task force has been set up to respond to the earthquake. The task force will gather information on damage and prepare for more possible tsunamis. Japan's Foreign Minister Takeaki Matsumoto has ordered his officials to start preparing to accept foreign assistance. He has also told them to check on the safety of foreigners living here in Japan. The Pacific Tsunami Warning Center has issued a tsunami warning not just for Japan, but also for Russia, Marcus Island, the Northern Marianas, Guam, Wake Island, and Taiwan. The Pacific Tsunami Warning Center has issued a tsunami warning not just for Japan, where a tsunami has already struck, and you can see some of the damages so far in Miyagi Prefecture, northern Japan, and the Sendai area, but also for Russia, Marcus Island, the Northern Marianas, Guam, Wake Island, and Taiwan. For those of you who have just tuned in and living anywhere close to the coastal areas of Russia, Marcus Island, Northern Marianas, Guam, Wake Island, and Taiwan, please do not go near the waters. Move to higher ground as soon as possible. You're watching NHK World, and a major earthquake hit Japan Friday afternoon. This happened about an hour and 20 minutes ago. Japan's meteorological agency says the quake measured magnitude 8.4. The agency has issued a tsunami warning for Japan's Pacific coast. In northern Japan's Iwate Prefecture, tsunami waves of up to 4 meters were observed soon after the quake. The agency is warning that the tsunami could be between 6 and 10 meters. You're seeing some of the tsunami damage so far in Miyagi Prefecture, in the Sendai area, where some of the homes and farms have been flooded when the tsunami went upstream a river. According to the Transport Ministry, Haneda International Airport has reopened 2 of its 4 runways. Haneda International Airport has reopened 2 of its 4 runways. The airport had earlier closed all runways. Haneda International Airport has reopened 2 of its 4 runways. The Japan Road Traffic Information Center and police say expressways around Tokyo and northeastern Japan have been closed. The Japan Road Traffic Information Center and police say expressways around Tokyo and northeastern Japan have been closed. According to Toshiba Elevator, it assumes that most elevators came to a halt in the region affected by the disaster. According to Toshiba Elevator, it assumes that most elevators came to a halt in the region affected by the disaster. At the moment, the company has been collecting information about mechanical troubles. The industry minister's Nuclear and Industrial Safety Agency has put in place an emergency center for the earthquake. It'll collect information concerning damages caused by the earthquake to nuclear power plants around the country. For those of you who just tuned into NHK World, you're seeing live coverage of Miyagi Prefecture in the Sendai area where a tsunami has struck. A major earthquake hit Japan on Friday afternoon. Japan's meteorological agency says the quake measured magnitude 8.4. The agency has issued a tsunami warning for Japan's Pacific coast. Some
there in Japan, they keep talking about an 8.4. Of course, what we're dealing with here is an 8.9 magnitude quake, a great quake. And I want to make the point, too, I've actually received a tweet here from a person who's in Japan. I've asked them and sent them a tweet to ask for their number so we can talk to them. But they're saying frequent aftershocks, the first time in my life in Japan. So this is a traveler, a tourist in Japan who's tweeting to me, and anyone else who is in Japan who wants to send a tweet, please take the time, feel free if it's safe to, at Rosemary CNN. You know, do get online if you can and send a Twitter. But let's go back to these pictures now. I might just get that sound turned down in my ear if you don't mind. It's a little distracting just from the pictures. Thanks so much. Now, we're looking at all of this debris on the ground there, just moving right across Japan, coming from the coastal areas. We see the boats, we see cars, we see mud, all the debris moving through there. Thankfully, a lot of this is farming area, but it is moving into some buildings there, and we saw some ablaze on the ground. I want to go back to Ivan Cabrera, see what additional information Ivan has. What are you finding out? What are you learning now?
Well, we just had another major earthquake offshore of Japan, a 7.1, which would be devastating enough, if certainly shallow enough and closer to the shore. Some of these folks in these farmlands and some of these buildings.
Muy buenos días, soy Nelson Quiñones e interrumpimos nuestra programación. Les llevamos a ustedes imágenes en vivo de un fuerte terremoto que se registró en la zona de Japón, en la costa de Japón. El terremoto